Okay, well, there's Tom the rapist. We just saw the LAPD investigators. And this is Felon Carl Lambert's building. So, this is Councilwoman Traci Rape's Schadenfreude trick. She's Meth Mike Bonin's Loyola Marymount doppelganger. This is Westminster Plaza, the scene of a murder rape, right here. And you can see Tom, our honorary street custodian, Melissa Diner, meth baby Melissa Diner, Venice Neighborhood Council, Venice v. Hotel. Venice v. Hotel. That's Felon Carl Lambert. How much is the Department of Water and Power and Meth Mike Bonnet spent on this Loyola Marymount donor class psychosexually disturbed rape culture freak, drawing the Garcetti tourists to the revamped Waldorf, Venice V Hotel, V for Vicious. Felon Carl Lambert controls the Morrison Hotel. The Doors had to sue them. Long negotiations. I've got 700,000 views on Stan Becker songs. Yeah, Dead Rock Star might have farted here once. Felon Carl Lambert controls this, where I bled unconscious from my ears and nose in the street, attacked from behind in front of a St. Joseph's Center, homeless center case manager. You know, that permanent supportive housing, that Steve Clare suicide cluster, Abby Sher, Liberty Hill Foundation. Count the William Brown little smarmy pustules of rape culture vomit on the Venice Neighborhood Council. Drug House Becky Dennison, the Dell Project, Hollywood Community Housing Corporation, Venice Community Housing Corporation, Community Corporation of Santa Monica, because Linda Lux from the Venice Neighborhood Council, Meth Mike Bonin, PR perpetrator, psychopathic predator parasite. Now we got You Hate Nate in Beverly Hills High School putz. The new sanctuary city district attorney. Westminster Plaza. Tom, our honorary street custodian. Because I tried to get this rapist not even arrested, just to stop him from doing the prison yard broom sweep and abusing women in the infamous Horizon Rest rape room. Felon Carl Lambert now wants $1 million because of the Garcetti Olympics. This place was closed down. The genesis to the exodus of the meth encampment Folly, while he illegally rehabbed this building. Made $3 million selling it back to himself and suicide cluster Steve Clare, Venice Community Housing Corporation, Hollywood Community Housing Corporation, Community Corporation of Santa Monica, sexual predators on youth, spy affiliate. Coming right to the Venice Neighborhood Council Homeless Committee meeting. Went from one abuser, noisemaker, water boy Will Hawkins, who attacked me right here at the Venice Neighborhood Council. Councilwoman Traci Rapes, Loyola Marymount, gang stalking staff wouldn't ID themselves, injured me purposefully, the old step on the old man's screw in the foot. So you've got your star councilwoman. And all the women and kids coming here for the run. The police investigator, special, lots of cops today because the tourists are here. There's a stand down Pacific Division. Rise in rape. You know, what happens to the neurobiology of somebody, even if they're young, after a bunch of concussions, and then having to live homeless, evicted for trying to help those sexually assaulted women. Gary Stewart, RHINO Records, Christmas party canceled. Sorry. Committed a very public suicide during my, thanks for the food, during my retaliatory eviction with racist Fannie Willis clone Bobby Tillman, Superior Court Judge. Racist lawfare Superior Court Judge. Being screamed at by that guy who looks like a road warrior, Mad Max 2 guy. But the cops will come back and forth, and Tom the rapist will scoot, and this guy will say fuck you and square up with somebody 40 years older because I don't have a cigarette. And there will be no American flag on our state park. No American flag. Councilwoman Traci Rape, Garcetti Olympics. Come on, international tourists. Come to the most dangerous, violent beach in the nation. That's unimpeachably documented, but unfortunately, Musclehead Beach Sperminator sees nothing. I see nothing. I hear nothing. What do you want? I'm not taking pictures of you. What are you screaming at me for? I'm working. A million fucking people with cameras. There's a rape culture camera on top of your fucking building. Right there. Is it okay if I take a picture of the building? What are you, Brad Neal? You want to give me a fucking psychotic murder threat? Steve Clare suicide, Steve Clare's partner. It's on tape years ago. So I'm not going to work with Steve Clare again. He ripped off $100K on each of those rehabbed apartments. Crack House, Jack V. Hoffman, Market Street right there, where I showed you. Westminster right there. This is their deal. Crack House, Jack V. Hoffman. When you go to Jelina's and Jay Gusta's and Fran Pomage, and he opens a hotel and a bunch of stores, a foreign chain, Great White, take the sidewalks, take the public parking spots. The people around here had to put up 8 and 10 foot fences. Moved away. Because Felon Carl Lambert knows what he's doing in the most serially violent single address in Venice. I noticed my neighbors who have new people, nice people, well-to-do people who have bought here, slowly realizing where they are, taking their Tracy Park sign down because she tricked people. People were scared. People were intimidated. During the lockdown, there were socially engineered mob riots. Drug house Becky Dennison, the landlord for the most serially violent single address in Venice. Several hundreds of individual police officers. These are dirty cops. Who else in this community went to every event until those high school cadets, every young girl and every young man, every young woman and every young man, high school kid, wearing that blue, told them they were doing an important job and how much I respected them. When Chief Moore came down here to sell us the open crack smoking trick poverty pimp bridge house, taking another public parking lot for the West Side Coalition Associated Poverty Pimps, I went and met his new commanding officer and all those guys who stood down during the Maxine Waters drug house Becky Dennison riots, because she brought Becky Dennison right here and met Mike Bonin in on this deal, this Councilwoman Traci rape deal, brought AOC right there, and Bernie, who meant well and got screwed by Hillary, thank God. There's their high definition security cameras Gloria Romero, state senator, Democratic state senator, first woman state senator, just went Trump in September, like a month before the election. But there's our high definition Section 3 security cameras you pay for. And sold at Ursua on the Venice. There's Tom. How appropriate. Keith is dead. Let everybody in. Drug house Becky, Dennison. 5 working meth units. Where'd they get all those drugs from these low-income people they put in here? Aquila Fleming said she was a psychologist and a therapist. Even recalcitrant adult protective services had to remove her. And at Claire Stevens, who might be Steve Clare, Labs Tippy lawfare lawyer, so cynical, he just told APS when I got taken out of town, not being allowed to see my doctor or even their psychiatrist out of town in Pasadena. That's interesting. Talk to Dr. Jupinski about that because that used to be his place. You know, hi, Angel. I'm making a video you don't want to be in, and it's I'll see you in a minute. And it's more forced drugging. And the Department of Mental Health, John Sharon, he just left. Nilsa Gallardo helped cover up Janet, Jewish woman, sexually assaulted in that apartment. A good person based on merit, not these self-bigotry or low expectations, conveniently black people who don't want to work, expunge felons, drunk, because that's what these white race baiting people really want you to see and be so intimidated you don't see anything. And the cops don't say anything. But they make a lot of money because several hundreds of them, and this is documented by them, by us, at about 14 different places, including the South Bay LA Times, now using Venice real estate poverty pimps, Argonaut real estate poverty pimps. The new St. Joseph Spikes model just got a doctorate, a DEI doctorate from UCLA. They're finding out that DEI stuff, a lot of doctors can't pass those tests. You know, the prison drop doctors. This needs to be unpacked intelligently by somebody who'll take the time to research this. I'm not going to put you on tape, sweetheart. We'll talk privately. I'm not putting you on tape. I love you guys. Thank you. I'm triggered. I'm homeless. My 6th Hanukkah. Jew hate Nate, standing near your sanctuary city. Chuck Lorre, $600 million man, architectural makeover. Here comes Whoopi Goldberg. This is the sewer. This is the sewer. This is Clinton country. Venice Canals, where they brought Hunter Biden. Why they bring him here? For that Leslie Stahl CBS trick. Why would the FBI all around my van and the Secret Service around my van? I'm a 73-year-old non-criminal beat to shit here. Bled unconscious right there in front of the St. Joseph's case manager. Back to those cameras. Soledad Ursua said they needed a FOIA request because she talked to a whistleblower. That's her direct quote. Soledad Ursua, daughter of Gloria Romero. She gets the whacked credibility. The Venice Neighborhood Council goes on the radio, goes on the TV, talks about drugs and mental health. The Department of Mental Health, Nilsa Gallardo, cover up the sexual assault. Susan, the floor I lived on, she was sexually assaulted by the same video stalking residential manager. There's Tom the rapist. This is what happens out in the open. Like Dennis Prager says, they don't do it in the dark. They do it in the light. And you can't believe it, and I couldn't either. So I have to forgive you because I tried to run away. I was a little coward just like you. I was a little freaky, stupid coward just like you. But thank God I went to the emergency room and had so many surgical procedures. And this is the anniversary of one because I was psychosexually attacked, but men don't like to talk about that. But I did tell Chief Moore. He's very concerned. He told Captain Setzer, and then I got punished for trying to remove that rapist. The new residents are wealthy, and the old residents are gone because Felon called Lambert plays Monopoly. And demon swine Traci Park knew about this shit before they dragged that downy middle-aged childhood lawyer completely missing in action, just like Jew Hate Nate, the Beverly Hills High School putz DA, who gets in, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sperminator. I see nothing, I hear nothing, screw your freedom, swears these sons of bitches in. The new cop of Commie Karen Bass, the new Garcetti, declares a sanctuary city. Dirty Roger Mahoney, pedophile protection racket, who owns that St. Joseph's property, which is a vicious, satanic compound. Let's look at my billing records. And the microcosmic example of what permanent supportive housing, wraparound services, reintegration, senior services, nutrition, all that stuff you want to give to the poor people because actually you force them to live in this vicious violence and be cased all the time, and then you get freaked out about it and you hire the same son of a bitches who will refuse press conferences. You know, I can't sit like somebody, these conservative media harlots, the former MSM Dems and the entrenched millennial conservatives interested in gussying themselves up, virtue signaling, theatrical outrage, and no one comes here where it really happens. Behind Disneyland, this is the cash cow entertainment business. St. Monica's, St. Clement's, Catholic Charities. And if you're so stupid you don't know that Catholic Charities is a political organization run by these globalist freaks and not the beauty of the liturgy nor the Catholic religion, but I'll be called this and that and hating this and that and that and that, and I'll never talk about the Catholic boy I raised, didn't have to, financially or legally. What a gift to me are the people in my family, because we have mixed religions in my family. And I'm glad to grow up in a Christian country as a Jewish man. I'm no problem with that. Love Christmas. But these satanic son of a bitches use the iconography of what's most holy and important to people. And they rape fucking children with it. And they beat the shit out of women that are not white on the Venice canals, where the big money forces us to live in this mob riot, social engineered violence, which is extremely a cash cow here. The Venice Neighborhood Council doesn't memorialize those meetings. They care so much they won't give a Santa Monica student or a Venice high school student a job to stand there with his phone and let you see what they've been doing, because now it's in your neighborhood, because now every state's a border state. And Newsom declares he thinks he's president. He's going to save us from Trump. But 8 counties outside of Los Angeles that when Biden and Obama, they went full Barry and Joe and Hillary. And at one time in my life, I might have, please forgive me. Talk about Jesus, please forgive me. I'm a Jew. So was he. True racists are the race baiters. This is vicious crime. It's taking over our Superior Court. Bobby Tillman. She needs to be removed right away. It is not revenge. It is not revenge. I've been through the cognitive dissonance that you're slowly going through. It is not revenge. They went medieval, but it's not revenge. It's justice to get at least an open hearing. Somebody get me to a doctor outside their system for a complete medical and psychiatric workup. I've got hard copies of the medical history they've erased because the HMOs are in on it. Bobby Kennedy. And the violence-inducing forced drugs. Soledad talked about that. She talked about a FOIA request for these cameras where I bled unconscious, smacked from behind by another drug drunk. Not that Bobby Maddox hired stooge enforcer that crippled me for life. The anniversary of an extremely invasive surgery procedure because they wanted that little Jew to suffer on Hanukkah. Didn't you call Lambert Investments? Well, I did. I'm still suffering. What are you fundraising for now, bitches? See all those cameras? You paid for those Section 3 cameras that crippled me. Daryl was either murdered or jumped. Why don't you talk to the people who's ever left in this 19-unit building who might have seen his head explode from that third. I lived on that third floor. I tried to mitigate and help him. His boyfriend, Christopher, is dead. Daryl's dead. White, black, and gay. Meth Mike. Meth Mike had that Bernie rally while Christopher was dying. Keith, black, dead. First apartment, let everybody in. Timo Sorrow, the second of 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 residential managers that are in Title V. The time the rapist in when even some of the convicted criminals convicted violent acts while living here and they held the apartment open for them. Talk about the Matrix. Cousin of one of the richest movie stars, the blue pill, red pill actor, who was so great in so many movies. King of New York, I think, when he was young. Fantastic actor. Rich sweetheart deals. Cousin, nephew, or somebody was my neighbor in that building. Try to help so many people. That woman, a church group of women were trying to help her, and I was trying to help her. Even Joey told Tina, don't let that guy in. Don't let Tom the rapist in. And he stood there and screamed, and we have pictures. And as you see that rapist walks, he stood there and screamed, and Timo let him right in, and Becky knows. Becky knew that that door was open and closed, but she had to get rid of Keith. And APS came. And APS came for Aquila and fired her when they forced drugged me and took me out of town. This time last year, several years ago, when they did exactly what they did this week with the Coastal Commission and bum rushed another project through. Councilwoman Traci. There will be justice. It's not vengeance, it's justice. 700,000 views. I came back from impossible injuries and infections and abuse. I got off of all their medications because during the pandemic, the cricket doctor, UCLA doctor, disappeared. Joel Sarachek, dangerous. And it was a mixed blessing because I went off of all of their end-of-life drugs and all of their pain drugs and all of their other drugs. And I got strong and healthy, and I'll show you the picture of my biceps and triceps and big, you know, and now I'm sick. And they took it all away, but there's 700,000 views on Stan Becker Song's YouTube, and I got punished for that too. I'm making a video about these poverty pimps and telling you, you don't care, do you, Joe?
I do.
I mean, you don't care if I film you, do you?
You guys don't do anything bad on me, yeah. I'm telling the truth.
Well, what happens in there, is it good or bad?
Bad.
What's bad about it?
The main thing is they're harassing me because I have a beautiful live-in wife and my pets.
Was LaFoy stabbed in that building?
They're in the back, right at the back.
Was he stabbed in the chest?
Yep.
Did he have broken bones?
He had blood coming out and went to the hospital for a month.
Yeah, he got $250,000 to shut his mouth up. Did you see when Darryl got jumped or thrown? Did he get jumped or thrown?
Hard to tell. A lot of people died in that building.
Well, did the detective come? Was there any follow-up?
Nope.
What about mental health? I mean, that's pretty serious. You got the Department of Mental Health case managers, St. Joseph, Luskin,
and
all of them. West Side Coalition, all of them.
It's all.
How many people died in this building?
At least over 10 people in 10
Well, it's
years.
only 19 units.
Yeah.
Boy, how many case managers per death?
It's too many.
Do you remember when Tom the rapist came and beat the shit out of the woman in George's apartment?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I have you on tape telling Timo we called him and told him not to let Tom in. If you don't remember, that's cool. I'm not trying to get you into this. You're safe anyway, because you've got a long history with the justice system, so they'll protect you.
Very sad situation at the Raoe Park.
It is. Susan got sexually assaulted by Sydney, who started a fire in the residential manager apartment. Told that guy on the second floor to jump, what I'm trying to encourage Felon called Lambert to do. I promised him I wouldn't urinate on his little crumpled body. Merry Christmas, Carl. You took that guitar out of my hands. You reported and removed my song from YouTube.
They're gonna pay.
Didn't have any nudity or profanity or threats, so Zuckerberg didn't like it. It wasn't endangering children, it was trying to protect children. I'm still being restricted. That Mar-a-Lago million's not gonna help you, Mark. Lex Friedman, why don't you sit down with a homeless person whose dad fought World War II, who was born in Nazi Poland? I'll have a meal or two and be able to be respectfully coherent, because I do respect you so much. I do. I trust your good heart, sir. This needs to be unpacked by somebody on your level or Rogan's level or my Rabbi Roseanne Barr's level, because she knows that no one hates the Jews like the Jews. And now I'll deal with this threat here just from walking around. Where I paid rent, where I had to face that scumbag, that racist, anti-Semitic, vicious scumbag, Superior Court Judge Bobby Tillman, gonna yank her out of that building. There's gonna be accountability. You took that guitar out of my hands. That's the only way I kept my cognition together, because you destroyed my fucking neurobiology, and your malnutrition adds to that. And it keeps on bringing back all that shit inside of me, symptomatically. You can look it up. What a concussion. A series that it does. It takes a long time for that to clear. Now I'm back in that suit. So I'll put down that guitar and I'm going to pick up something else. You better hope it's a fucking form. File. With who? With who? Your bought off lawyers who will never work again? If they stop expunging felons? Are you gay? Are you gay? Are you gay? Because if you are, you got an apartment. And if you're illegal, you got one. So now we'll see what kind of trouble I'm in from just talking into my phone on my street from these new fucking assholes.